Hi there, it's Eric the Swiss Army Knife, and you know, I'm always doing stuff. I go, gosh, I got to show people this because I know a lot of DIYers are like doing things like this, and they just have gone through a lot of pain. And maybe these little tips that I'm going to give you will give you some relief when you're building, putting in lights, and a lot of the other stuff I'm doing will help, and that's why I'm doing this. So there's some things that you need to get to install lighting. I got these off Amazon. I really like them, and they're step lights. And I got step lights because I don't like solar lighting, because after a year or so, or maybe even 6-8 months, the batteries go bad, the rain affects them, everything. So I wired them in. And so the way I wired these in is just before we poured cement, I ran direct bury wire. I ran direct bury wire here, which is from over the point where I installed a transformer box, which you're going to need, that turns it on and off and feeds the power to this. So I direct buried it to here, which means you don't need conduit. And I strongly suggest, if you do direct bury it, that you use you be there when they pour the cement so they don't cut the wire, because that's always possible. And always go under their rebar. Don't go on top, or they will cut it. So that's a really important point. So some of the things you need is a meter, so you can check for shorts, and not for your shorts, but you can check your shorts. No, it's check for shorts. So you touch them together, they're shorted. You want to have your wires be in a non-shorted situation. And right now you'll see right here, maybe if you can look, you'll see the lights are on. I did not hook the transformer up to those lights. I did not hook the transformer up to those lights because I don't want to burn the transformer out. So I took a car battery jumper box and I hooked it up. It's 12 volts. And so that will allow me at this point to be able to just plug it in. If it shorts out, it's not going to kill anything but that battery thing. So, and I'm real careful. So with these loops in and out, I'm going to show you what to do and how to do it. So the tools you need, I'm using lever nuts, and I'm using them instead of the blue cap landscape nuts they have, which has a little bit of goo in them, and that keeps them from getting like corroded and stuff like that. But all the wire is copper, so you don't have to worry about, you know, two different types of metal and everything. So everything is copper. So I'm going to attempt to show you how to put these in. These lever nuts, if you just look up the word lever nuts, you know, Home Depot has them, and they look like this. And basically you just shove the wire in and snap them down. They use them now in houses when they're doing wiring. You'll see them all over the place. They're a lot faster than twist caps. And I don't know if they're as positive, but they are pretty good connectors. Twist caps, they don't come off. Sometimes these can get pulled and come off, so that's just my opinion on them. So we're going to do this one here, and this is looped, so, and I want to cut it short. So in my case, I'm going to be slicing this in the center. Like this. It's like zip wire. You know what zip wire is, it's the same thing. So when I cut this, the electricity will stop because I'm looped. Then I'm going to take about 4 inches, or about 3.5 inches, right here, 3.5 inches, and I'm going to cut the wire short, because too much wire in here will make it won't fit in this box. Then I'm going to strip them, and get yourself a pair of good Klein ones, and you'll notice that these have numbers on it, so you can't screw it up. So I'm going to be doing 12s, number 12s, and so I can always get the 12 right, because if you don't get that right, it's going to take some of the copper leads that you need, and it just it doesn't transfer the power well when you don't use all the, see the thing, this, maybe if you look here, you can see this, these are the leads. It's called stranded wire. Stranded wire is real good because it passes current better than solid wire in this case. What's current? Current's the stuff that passes through that passes voltage. So now that we've got that cut, there's a couple more things we have to do. And because this is so big a wire, it's number 12, we're going to take, this is why we have our hammer, we're going to take the, you'll notice I'm wearing gelled knee pads, which really helps this because you're on your knees a lot. And I'm going to chip away at some of this cement so it has a better fit inside the box. At first I just tried doing it without it and it wasn't good. I was having to force it in there. You don't ever want to force anything like this. You want it to fit right. Don't aim your chisel at the wire. You will cut the wire off. Then your project is over. Okay, that should be pretty good. All right. There's some times where this is uneven and I have to cut the cement in here. And this looks pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I also get me a rag. I'm going to put this here. Put this here. I know where to cut this. I cut this at about 4.5, 5 inches. So I'm throwing that out. And this is real thin zip wire, so I should be able to grab it and spread the connections. Now this is not 12. This is very thin. It's like 16. Always twist your wire. Too long. Okay. Now let's hook our little nuts up. Okay. So first one's going to go in here, and I sometimes when I can I turn them. And my filmmaker's in the shadows. And I'm going to try and do this from this position so maybe you can see it better. Okay, see, these are the two sets of wires, so you're going to put them in parallel.
And some of those are shadows, not wires.
So I've got one on one side and one on another, so they can sit left and right, so they're not bunched up on top of each other. Yeah, that's what was in the loop. And hopefully when we plug this last one in, the light will come on. There we go. That's our telltale. That's what you want. You want to make sure that your lights are coming on. If they don't come on, then nobody's home. Okay, now we're going to mount the light. So I spread these out, a little bit of pressure to make sure they're spread out. And you'll see this little cavity that they go in down below, so you see how tight it is. The round wire nuts would sit down here, but they were too much. They just didn't work well. I didn't like them. Some of you guys may really like them, and that's fine. They weren't what I liked. So now what we got to do is mark our center. And my wife said, make sure you mark the center and don't make a black mark, because she was going to make a comment just now. She was just, see, she even isn't making a comment now. I knew she would. Okay. She completes me, but sometimes she's irritating. Okay, so we got that center. Now we want to be 1 inch from the top. And I do it right from 1 inch from this break here. so it's not right at the top. So it's probably about 1.5 inches actually. Then we want to get a level, and we level it, make sure it's level. Now these are the red heads we're going to put in. They're 1.25 inches. And I don't think when I pull this out that I got a package with it. Where's my package of screws? Oh, I got to stop what I'm doing and see if I got the package of... Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're not going to use the wire nuts, but we are going to use these screws. So now I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Get them 1 inch from the top. Now that's just in the center. If I use the center, then I'm okay. Now how do you keep this from not being cockeyed? And I'm going to show you that, and this is part of the trick of what I think I was really excited about showing you, so you wouldn't get this wrong. So I put the screw in, and now I'm going to...
Wait, do it again. I mean, you went a little crooked.
I'm going to put the screw in. Now I hit this. I'm not worried about that, Gail, right now. And now I've made the hole, and then I'm going to take my 1/4 inch hammer drill. You want to have a hammer drill, it makes it a lot easier. How far do you go? Well, I marked it. When it's turning, you can see the black mark. You want to go to that black mark every time, because if you don't, then this will not fit in properly, and you'll have to pull it back out and redo it because it won't work. So now I'm going to hit it in with a hammer. It goes in nice and smooth. Now what Gail was saying was that it was off high or low. It doesn't really matter because we haven't set the level yet. We know we're 1 inch, about 1.5 inches from the center. So that makes it very easy to come back here and get our level. Now we drill our second hole, but how do we mark our second hole? We mark our second hole same way we marked the first hole. And if you can see, this is not square cement. They did not do this real square. But when you push it in with a screw, it will pull in, it'll be fine. Hammer drill. Hammer time. Start out slow. Get your hole set, and then watch it walk off. And we have a dead battery. It's okay. It does that when there's a dead battery. Okay, so now we're going to put in the second one. We're ready to. Now at this point, because I talked about that goop, I actually bought some goop from Home Depot. I don't really love this goop, but it's no Alox antioxidant joint compound, and it's really just to cover joints, and it's messy, but it will keep it from corroding, which is what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be pretty, because this stuff doesn't dry. It just stays goopy. Yep. It's messy too. And you don't screw it all the way in until you get the other one in. So lean it out so you can see where your screw is going in. Lights on, you're done. That's pretty much it. So I thought this was a good thing to show you, because a lot of people will be putting these step things in instead of solar panels, instead of solar lights, and they do work better. So I hope this helps, and if you want to see some other videos that I have, subscribe at the bottom, and also check that bell off, so when that bell goes, you'll know, hey, Eric's made a new one, and you like it. Thank you much. See ya.